Well, one of the first things we do when we get out to the bee yard is we light a smoker. And believe it or not, if you're a brand new beekeeper, keeping the smoker going was one of the hardest things to figure out and navigate. So I wanted to just do this quick little video on how to light a smoker. A smoker creates some smoke by having a little fire in the chamber that's snuffed out, and it's just a smoky little fire inside here. And when you puff the smoke on the bees, it does two things. One, it interferes with them being able to spread their alarm pheromones. And second of all, when they smell that smoke, they think if there's a fire around, we might need to move. Let's eat a bunch of honey, and they get kind of lethargic. When you eat a lot, when you have a big Thanksgiving meal, you get kind of lethargic. So, and then it's harder for them if their stomachs are full. It's harder for them to sting anyway. So it's kind of an alarming thing for the bees, but it calms them down so they're less likely to sting us. And so that's why we use a smoker before we go into bee colonies. Inside the smoker is this little thing that sets in here, and what these bellows do is they push air into this chamber, and you want to make sure there's air underneath the little snuffed out fire you have. So make sure you have one of these, or if you have a smoker that has it built in, make sure that's in the bottom. I had a friend who wanted me to light a smoker once, and I put things in and started going. I could not get it working, and I found out he didn't even have one of these little risers in the bottom of his smoker. Now here is my little toolkit of what I have that I bring out to the bee yard. Make sure I have a hive tool and something to light with, some matches, and then some various types of fuel. I use pine needles and these wood shavings that are like for animal bedding, and I got some pieces of burlap in here. Never use anything that could be toxic. Never put lighter fluid or any kind of fuel in here. You don't need to, but it's not good for the bees anyway. So what I always do is I just start with some pine needles because they're very breathable. And so I grab some really dry pine needles, break them up, and I just put them in the smoker. And then I start that on the fire to get it going. So inside there you can see the fire is starting, the pine needles are starting to light up. I'm going to add a little fuel to it, shake it around a little bit, get it warming up. You kind of keep adding things to snuff it out, and then you heat it up again, and that's what creates a really smoky little fire in here. You want that nice white, cool smoke. Grab a handful of wood shavings and put those in there. Some more. And that's looking pretty good. So that's full for now. See, there's some wood shavings here on the top. It's not hot smoke at all. There's no heat. It's just a little bit of smoldering at the bottom. Now the problem with wood shavings, if I were to tip my smoker and smoke the bees, I'd get shavings all over them. So I usually end up by just grabbing some grass or something that's going to hold that shavings in. It's not going to go anywhere. I top it off with that, and now I can tip my smoker out and smoke. Nothing's going to fall out. We put our lid on. And see, I have nice, cool, white smoke. And that should stay lit for a while. So we're ready to check our bees.